Yeah, there is.
Hey, hey everybody. Welcome to number session number 14 of Isle Beyond the Mist. Tom and I just counted. You solved a lot of stuff last time on lucky number 13, so that's a good sign. And we're headed into the end game pretty soon. But we're still resolving one more thing before we head off to the Emerald Jungle, and that is stealing the stone idol from the mer people on the Mermaid's Grotto. It kind of sounds bad when I say it like that. But they tried to rip Tom to shreds. Cathal to shreds. So maybe they deserve it. I don't know.
You're
And
mean.
yeah, there you go.
Boo.
And that gives you permission to just take their stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, it's the
That's
1720s. It's the 1720s, and we're pirates. We've done a
Yeah,
lot of like taking other
mhm.
people's stuff. So
that is also true. Yeah. So as a reminder for the question we answered last time, you all determined that there is this ancient Greek music box that you can use to emit
Mhm.
this war song of Alexander's army, and that can help you open a portal to elsewhere. So that's cool. But you have to get the stone idol first, either to like activate it, or they need to be in close conjunction with each other for some reason, or maybe it emits part of the song. So that's what we're going to do tonight is a little heist from Mer people. You got a 79 on the first question, so there will be some danger from the Mer people and their music, but you got a 10 plus on the other questions, so everything else should be pretty straightforward. Um, so let's go ahead and look over your conditions. Captain Jack is still destined, which he can't clear. He's also insulted. I don't remember what that was from, but probably,
that was from Captain Morgan.
yeah, almost certainly from Captain Morgan. Cathal is waterlogged and still has a dislocated shoulder, which I'm
Sure.
sure won't cause any problems. And Old Book
Hey,
is
sorry. Cat, you bit me. You have to go away now. Sorry.
that's all right. Overstimulated from being bit by cats. And
Yep.
you also have the soul satiated condition because you sucked out a ghost from the cook's nose.
Yep.
So you can actually spin that at any time to give yourself advantage. So it's kind of a cool
Nice.
condition. So go ahead and look over your end of session questions to see if you want to change them. And then we will go straight into the unseen, which I posted in the Discord chat. And I'll also post it in the Zoom chats.
I think
If
I'm
I
gonna
can
go
find
with.
it.
I feel like I'm really getting to un to use profanity unnecessarily.
Mhm.
I think that's where we're headed in this one. All right.
Will you finally get to use profanity here? Will it finally happen?
Okay, revenue so was fast.
Okay, that messed up the numbers, but that's fine.
We know it. We got it. Yeah.
All right. Everyone, you can take a minute to look over. The first is going to be a paint the scene, so everybody will answer it. And then the second question will be for Ben. The third will be for Tom, and the fourth will be for Mike.
Cool, 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 cool.
And then just give me a thumbs up when you're good. All right.
I'm ready.
So tonight's unseen is called Marooned. Rafael Silva was aboard the fast-moving Portuguese merchant vessel, the Gaviota, when a rogue wave knocked him overboard without anyone noticing. He swam towards what looked like a clump of trees in the distance. The clump of trees turned out to be a small island somewhere near the Bahamas. Described the beach as his shaky legs walked ashore at dusk.
I think a good amount of the trees that sort of lured him in, he thought this would be sort of a more stable island. But when he gets there, he sees that at high tide, the trees are submerged, right? So when he gets there, most of the island is still underwater, right? And he's got the water still up to his, maybe halfway up his leg as he sort of sloshes around looking for high land, right? And a place to put down his feet.
I think um the beach is more shells than beach. I don't know if you've ever been on one of those beaches where it's just like all tiny, sharp pieces of shells. And so he, just like the beach itself is kind of swaying and uncomfortable, he can never put his feet down fully, like his weight fully onto his feet. Otherwise, they will be pierced. And he'll just like have to Bruce Willis and Dinah Hart it and like John McCain all through the beach, bleeding from the soles of him.
Um, let's see. I had something else in mind, but it doesn't work if the beach is mostly underwater. I need to think. Um, there are as he approaches, as he gets to the beach, as he like wades ashore on this wave tossed beach that's like cutting into his feet. Just a large number of seabirds just kind of like erupt out of the trees and like fly toward him, like almost like right at him. And he like has to wave his arms to wave off all of these gulls or terns or whatever they are. It's kind of hard to see, kind of hard to tell exactly what they were in the twilight.
Very good. So it is around maybe a little bit after midnight. The moon is high overhead. Because you're on a deserted island, you can see just for miles and miles, and the stars are, you see the entire Milky Way overhead. Um, as we described this grotto, it's like in the side of a cliff on the edge of northwest eastern edge of the island, and there are handholds you can climb down to this almost stone door in the side where you guys have a key that you found for. I think you probably waited until the waves were not so intense that it was just going to smash you against the rocks. But I don't know. You guys
Yeah,
are.
I'm thinking we probably waited for low tide on here.
Yeah. I think after getting hit by the boulder, I think it being a little more like, it's hard, you guys. All right. It's going to take a little work to get down there.
Is it just the three of you, or are you bringing any crewmates along?
Good question. I'm initially thinking we might want to might want to might want to have brought a couple of people in addition, just in case a fight breaks out if we have like, more people on our side.
How
Okay,
about
so
Don Pablo?
Mhm.
Or
Are we doing no stealth? Are we doing no stealth at all?
fair enough.
That's true. That's true. Are we trying to sneak in, or are we trying to like go in with force in numbers? If we want to sneak in, we should probably only bring like one or two more people. If we want to go force in numbers, we should bring a bunch of people. I'm
Yeah.
up for stealth.
Yeah, because Don Pablo
Yeah.
would say something loud and stupid,
Right.
and Sam would just start shooting at things, So
Oh.
if you want to be stealthy, you probably maybe
Beautiful.
Duncan, but
Duncan
then
would be there. Oh,
he and Cabo
Duncan.
might be arguing the entire time. I don't know. It would be up
What
to you
about
guys.
Elena?
Hmm.
Because isn't she from around we know that she's from Panama,
Mhm.
and that she'd had some connection to other things. It maybe where it like I don't know, it feels to me that she knows jungles well.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll be there, and then either Lieutenant Alvaro or Skeleton Jack, because I think we can bring Skeleton Jack with us.
I don't know if you can.
Mm.
I think you might have used him up.
We used
Did
him up
we?
once. I don't think we've refilled the
Okay.
skeleton jack. Our skeleton jack meter is not at
Okay.
full.
Then-
Right?
Yeah, so they're both still on the ship, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe
All right.
then
We could do Duncan because I rubbed the book in his face, right? So
yeah.
he would be into
Right.
he's a bookie guy.
Duncan and Elena, maybe.
Yeah, that sound good.
Okay, so there's the five of you at the edge of this cliff looking down, and you hear from somewhere beneath the waves this muted, war music, like this thumping, rhythmic thumping that's similar to the thumping on the ship. And you just feel this compulsion for a moment, like, oh yeah, maybe Dante. Oh wait, yeah. Um, you feel this compulsion, like you want to just dive in, but you stop each other. So you know that this is going to be a problem as you're climbing down. Old Book, what are you telling them to prepare, to protect themselves from this mystical musical effect?
I think Book has spent as they're walking towards the um this grotto, he's just been ripping off like big palm leaves and chewing them up.
Hmm.
Um and then like mixing in some sort of powder. Who knows what it could be? Ground up like tortoise shell. It could be bird drop. Like you don't know. But he's like just pulling out these huge, like masticated wads of matter and being like, "Boyos, you need to shove these into your ears. That will keep yous from falling under the bewitching spells of these oceanic sirens." And then plugs his own ears with the with this concoction.
Why didn't
He's
you give
like,
it to us before? If you already knew this.
"No, no, no, no. Wait, what?" Um,
And then
he
I
like
just scoop it
pops
up. Yeah.
he pops it out. He says,
Yeah.
"No, it takes a while to prepares for yous."
And you were doing
Um,
that the last week. All right.
well, not the last week. None of yous jumped. We weren't going down there yet.
Well,
Duncan's like, if it stops me from listening to this one's complaining, then I'll happily do it.
I
yeah.
regret it already.
Okay,
Slap mine
well, it
in.
yeah, yeah, Jack says, "Well, Odysseus just used wax, but I suppose this will work too."
I,
Odysseus has nothing on me. Bloop.
I think it smells a little meaty, right?
Yeah.
It's like a little
Yeah,
too organic, right? Yeah.
yeah.
I think everyone's like cautiously looking down on who's going to go first, and maybe like turning to look to the captain, but then Elena is like already making her way down because it specifically says strong arms and a stout heart,
Mm-hmm.
so she has no fear.
I think I'm frustrated that she went before me, and I'm now trying to catch up with her. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I'll go next.
Duncan doesn't want to be last, so he doesn't want Cathal to show him up, so he climbs down after.
I guess Book's going last.
Okay.
Don't worries about me. Arms are coming.
Right. As you have the memory of holding over a boulder like over me at this exact location and then dropping it there.
Okay. Let's do the second unseen prompt. Ben, the trees were a forest made up of royal palms and copperwood trees. What night sounds of the island woods greeted Raphael on the beach?
Um, After those maybe seagulls, the flying creatures, what have you left? Um, I think there are actually almost no sounds at this beach. In fact, the more he walks away with each step from the beach, it's almost like he's taken 10 steps as far as the sound uh, like quieting goes, to the point where by the time his feet finally leave the water, he's not even hearing the um, slap of the waves on the shore. It is a an auditory-less experience as he enters into these trees. as if he has deafened himself.
Very good. It's not too far down that you have to climb, but it does take a while because everyone is being careful and cautious and trying not to make as much noise as possible. But probably after a few minutes, Elena reaches the midway point, and she points towards the wall where it's the place for the keyhole. And with one arm grabbing onto the ledge, she holds her hand up to Duncan. And Duncan looks a little confused at first. And then he's like, oh, yeah. And he mouths up to you, Jack. He's like, the key, pass it down.
I pass down the key.
As you are moving your arm to pass it down to him, you look down at the water, and the music, even through the wax, it's just calling out to you. And you remember your dream, your prophetic dream of Henry Morgan, and you transforming into this mer person under the waves. And you just feel this compulsion to join with them, and give up all of your struggle and burden. Because you are destined, I'm going to have you be the person who rolls here. You do get a +1 from old books assistance with the wax. But this is going to be the night move. Or sorry, the dangerous move. What are you worried about happening if you fail or lose your nerve?
Well, I'm afraid that we are going to succumb to the alluring call of the merfolk, and will, you know, like jump down into the water to be with them. And who knows what they're really going to do? I mean, we think it's like it's party time, but might be party time for them.
It's worse than that. You'll sound the alarm for the others and turn on your former companions as a cannibal mer person.
Oh,
Yeah. It's going to be sensitivity. I do
Okay.
think you have disadvantage from being destined. But you're at +4, so unless you roll double ones, which please, come on, that would be perfect. You should be good.
+4.
+4 disadvantage.
Yep, +4 with disadvantage. It's gonna be the low two. Oh, do I want to throw in an item to counteract that? I'm thinking, I'm thinking that if a, talisman against evil spirits is ever going to come into play, it's going to be now. So I'm going to mark that to, um, I'm going to do that to just,
So it's just a flat roll at +4.
it's just, yep, it's a flat
What
roll.
what does this talisman look like? And is it like around your neck? Is it around like a ankle bracelet
It
or?
is around my neck. I'm trying to remember where we got it.
It was the reward for the last thing that we did. And you took it because I took the small effigy of the captain as mine.
Oh, right. It was from the mutiny.
Yeah.
It could be
I
like
think
each
it's
crew person who was grateful made a separate, thing to put on the talisman. I don't know.
Like a charm bracelet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking it might have been what would it have been? I'm kind of drawing a blank here. I think it's like a, oh, I know. It's like, oh. It's a it's a um it's Aztec, that it was captured from the Spaniards. And it is a it's a stylized man, like man bird hybrid, like
Cool.
Quetzalcoatl or something like that, but it's but it's gleaming, and we can just tell that this was, and we had learned from other folks from Mexico that this was a talisman. This is a ward against evil.
Nice. I love it. Roll +4.
Oh, that is a 9,
Ooh.
even with a 4.
You can
Rolled
pop
5
it.
on the dice. 5 on
You
the
can
dice.
pop it.
Plus,
I think the complication is just you won't be able to use the talisman again. Like it breaks or something in the process of this,
oh,
and you
okay.
just mark it off your sheet
Okay, so I like literally don't have it anymore.
if that's okay with you.
That is fine with me. I'll just take it off the sheet.
Yeah. So we see you about to.
Maybe the
Well, okay.
the so the music resonates with it,
Mhm.
and I think it shatters,
Mhm.
and the act of it shattering is what breaks the spell.
Dope.
Yeah, and even like Duncan, his eyes were kind of glassing over for a second, but they just snapped back to reality, and they're like, "What was that?" But everyone just acts quiet again, and Elena puts this stone key that looks like a shell into a opening in the wall and twist it. And at first, nothing happens. So you're all just kind of like, what is going on and worried about summoning the mer people. But then it starts to like, I don't know if anyone's ever seen the Hobbit cartoon or anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Ralph
but
Bakshi.
where the wall starts to go like
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and move aside, there's some like pebbles and stuff dropping, and it makes an opening into a tunnel in the cave. And
Nice.
very quickly, Elena swings and hops inside, and Duncan falls after, and he's like cursing a little bit as he's like trying to spark a torch with flint and stuff. And then he motions for the captain to come in,
I head in.
and the two of you fall after.
Yeah.
We all head in.
Yeah. Come on.
Third unseen
Okay.
prompt. Tom, terribly thirsty. Raphael knew he would have to find drinkable water if he was going to make it very long on this island. Where did Raphael unexpectedly find water in the moonlight?
Yeah, I think in the very center of the island, right, as he's traveling through this sort of dead silence, he comes across a Roman column. And at the base of the column is a bowl that is filled with clean, glistening water. And he reaches in, sort of getting close to rabid with thirst, and dunks his head in, right, laps it up, drinks it, right. And I think when he puts it back, he sees that the amount of water in it has stayed the same as it was before. And he keeps going back until he gets his fill.
Oh.
And later replenished. Cool. So I think the five of you make your way a short distance down this tunnel. It's very narrow. It's obvious that, not a lot of people have walked this way before, or if they did, it was a really, really, really long time ago. There's probably like little pieces of frescoes that used to line the wall. Like there used to be a mosaic here, but whether it's just faded due to age or fallen into disrepair, it's impossible to say. But eventually, after a minute or so, you come into it kind of slopes downward from where you were at, and you enter into a chamber that is just filled with all of this treasure that the mer people have recovered from some of the shipwrecked ships. It's not as impressive as some of the hordes you've seen recently. It's mostly flotsam and jetsam. But there is like the little stone idol on a shelf in the back of the cave that is like a effigy of a mer person, with the jet black eyes and holding a trident and the inky black skin. And it starts to like glow a little bit as you get close with the music box. And Duncan starts to step forward, and then he feels a hand on his chest. And it's Elena, and she points to a couple mer people just like slithering around in the chamber.
Like out of the water, or are we in the water?
There's like some water lapping in from outside,
Mhm.
but they're right at the edge of it. And the chamber is maybe like 50 feet across, and they're closer to, the 10 feet at that edge, and you guys are kind of in the side of the cave, like in the middle. So, and the idol is at like the back wall.
So we've got to get past these merfolk in order to get to it.
Or just not necessarily even past them, but just not raise their suspicion.
Got
Oh.
it.
Oh, so you don't want me to like start swearing at them, which was my plan.
You can, sure.
No.
That
You
would
can
get
hack them all.
If
I mean,
you,
we
if
could,
you
you know,
want to start a fight, sure.
No.
I'm intrigued. I
And
could do
Book-
it.
Book raises his hand like don't worry, I've got this. And I would like to unstop my bottle of the Fog of Time, which like everybody got, when we were in the Fog of Time, we were all like discombobulated, we were lost. But I have this bottle of it, and I would like to direct it towards them. To like that side of the room. So they get
Interesting.
all like I don't know if I can release it in such a way that it doesn't fill the cavern and we also get lost in it, but I'm also comfortable just like hucking it like a grenade and like crashing it above them so it like sinks on them. I just don't know what I would roll if
That's
for
gotta
that.
be sensitivity.
Yeah, because if it was just throwing a regular bottle, then I would
Yeah.
say it would vitality, but yeah, feels like a sensitivity thing.
Yeah, the fog of time, that's sensitivity.
I'll say it's
Oh, yeah.
risky because they haven't seen you yet. What are you worried about happening if you fall short?
I'm worried that we will all be caught in the fog of time,
Yeah.
lost forever.
That feels right. Yeah,
That feels right.
feels
Feels right.
correct. Yeah.
I think that's my worry is that
Hmm.
I'll have made a terrible, terrible decision.
I know what
Um,
happens if you succeed, though.
But if you fail,
What happens if I succeed?
No,
If
no,
succeed-
I mean, I know what happens
Oh,
if you succeed.
you
yeah.
know what happened. Okay,
Yeah.
great. D6 plus.
Are you marking it for advantage?
Oh yeah, I'm marking
yeah,
it. Yeah, I'm marking it for my
Yeah.
own advantage. Da, da, da. Do, 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 do.
And if you want to deliver some profanity as you throw it, you probably could.
Great.
just under your
Excellent.
breath, just a little bit.
All right, hold on. Let me roll this. Let's see how I do first. All right. Keep
Use
the
plus
highest
3.
2 rolls. And 14.
Whoa.
Badoom. So I think
Hmm.
what is Book gonna yell? Okay, so Book
Zoinks.
like pulls the plug, like the cork out as he's about to throw it through the air, and he says, "Drink this up, you song spewing, mother loving sea skunks. Your arseholes look like fried calamari." And he just like whips it through the air, and it crashes on the wall. And then I'll let you decide what happens.
For a second, they turn to you and they open their mouths like they're going to scream and call for alarm. But then they look at each other, and in this like mist and haze that passes over them, you can kind of see how they looked before they transformed, like they were in life. And you see these two soldiers decked out in like ancient scale mail with finely crafted Grecian spears and swords, and they look towards where the water is and start talking to each other in this language you can't understand. But they keep saying things like Cassander and Marikakos and stuff. Like they seem to be thinking that they're still with Alexander's army. And in this reverie to rejoin their leader who they haven't seen in so long, they just walk out into the water and like almost march out into the water and disappear into the fog.
May you choke on a sack full of dog's testicles.
And Duncan is like, "What?"
Dog's testicles.
We didn't get them all, everybody.
We're hoping they choke on them.
Yeah, and he just puts his hand over your mouth.
Yeah.
Well,
I would
don't just stand there. Someone go grab the thing.
I think Jack will.
mm,
Okay. And
I get the idol.
last
Any
unseen
of the
prompt. Oh, go ahead.
any of the other treasures around here look particularly good, or is it just mostly just flotsam and nothing really worth taking the time to grab?
Well, I mean, probably if one of you gets a custom reward, you might have grabbed something, you know.
Got it.
But let's see the last unseen prompt. Thunder in the distance let Raphael know he needed to find shelter somewhere on this small island to weather the storm. What odd shelter does he find that will become his permanent home?
Not far from this column with this apparently magical font that fills with water, of a similar kind. At first, he thinks it looked Greco-Roman, but then it realizes that no, this was it was certainly a column that was artificially crafted, but it's definitely it was definitely built by the native people of the Caribbean. And nearby, at first he sees what he thinks is just like piles of stones, with like lots of palm fronds and a couple of like fallen over palm trees that have landed on it. As he goes over there, he realizes it's the foundation of a stone structure that's been here for who knows how long. Um, but it does still have a bit of a roof, and he's able to shift some of the palm fronds and some of the like one of the fallen palm logs to make a makeshift roof. And it's surprisingly dry on the inside, and that's where he makes his initial shelter tonight. And over the days and weeks to follow, since he has like a food source, or since he has water, since he's able to like find fish, and there are there's some of these palms produce dates, some produce coconuts. He's able to find food, he's able to find water, he's able to find shelter. He's able to stay here for a while until he's hopefully he's gonna be able to flag down a ship at some point in the future, but who knows how long that will be. And yes, I've seen the Tom Hanks movie.
Wilson.
He does not have a volleyball.
Yeah, that would be anachronistic. As Captain Jack.
I thought you were mentioning Joe versus the volcano, just so you know, because that's
culture. That's culture right there.
Meg Ryan plays 3 different characters,
Yeah.
but that's not like what a tour de force.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there.
As Jack gets close to this idol, stepping 1 foot at a time, the music box that he's carrying grows brighter and brighter and starts to emit this ancient war tune that's not quite as loud as the other one. And the idol glows along with it. And as soon as they are in enough proximity that you can grab both, there is a whoosh. And I think the captain just disappears. And
Oh.
where he was standing, there is this glowing blue portal in the sand. And Duncan kind of runs over and he's staring into it
Oh,
and he's like, Corblimey, that's the ship and the captain's
yeah,
on deck.
yeah. Best get jumping, and I dive through. Right.
Do you kick Duncan in first?
No, I grab him by the scruff of his collar after
Yeah.
I've jumped it.
And Jack, you're fine. You did like kind of whoosh onto the deck of the ship. Lorenzo's probably staring down at his spyglass and he's like, Captain?
Well, that was interesting. Wasn't
Someone
expecting that to
catch
happen,
me.
but this is a fortuitous turn of events.
Book, do you
Everyone else
also
come through the
jump
portal.
in or do you wait around and grab some stuff?
I think Book leans out the. Uh, I'm not sure me bones could handle the fall. Someone catch me, and then I jump, counting on someone else to just like not let me hit the deck hard.
It's Don Pablo.
Oh, of
He's like
course.
holding you in his arms.
Oh, I like give him one of these where I pinch his cheek like
Yeah.
that's a good boy. There's.
You would have been fine, old book.
And Elena finally pops through before the portal closes quickly. And Lorenzo's out looking out to shore, and he's like, "Well, we should probably get going," as like these dark figures are hastily trying to move towards the ship, but they won't be able to catch up to you or anything.
Yeah, Jack gives the command to like raise the mizzenmast, weigh anchor, or draw anchor. Weigh anchor means drop it.
Yeah.
I think.
That classic.
Books on the back of the back as we're like going away, and he's just like flipping them off and giving them like symbols. Be like, if I had more fog of time, all of yous would have been drowned by now.
True. Well,
I think we just fade out on Book cursing and making rude gestures and yeah, sailing off into the distance. Cool, cool, cool. Another successful threat resolved.
Yay!
So as always, when you resolve a threat, you get some rewards. And this one is a special threat because you get a bonus move, which I will put in the chat and talk about. And then I can put it on the Google spreadsheet in a minute too. All right, so you get a move called Pierce the Veil. When you have solved the puzzle of the mermaid idol and the flag of the Flying Dutchman is marked. Does anyone have that marked?
ooh.
Oh, I have Flying Dutchman marked.
The captain does. The
I
two
do
of us.
have the flying. I do have the Flying Dutchman marked.
Nice.
Uh,
You may
next.
use the idol to pierce the veil of reality. So it actually worked out really well that you were the one who grabbed the idol. Roll with sensitivity. On a hit, you open a brief tear in the fabric of reality. This could be in an alternate watery place of existence, a different time period, or a portal to the land of the dead. Hint, hint, if we want to use that in the final mystery. On a 10 plus, it's large enough to sail a ship through. On a 7-9, it's only big enough for people to pass through. On a miss, it's only open long enough for one person to pass through. So pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
In addition to that, everyone gets a regular reward. So the first one you can get is a small stone idol of the Merfolk, which allows. Oh, well, never mind.
That's the Pierce the Veil, yeah.
I'll just give you that for free. It's fine.
Yeah.
The second one, a dark blue bottle found on the beach, add it to your personal quarters. A tattoo of a mermaid, add it to your personal quarters, or just a regular memento from the grotto.
I would take the memento. If someone wanted to give me a memento, I would take a memento.
Son of a bitch. I'm gonna say that you have Dante's jawbone, right?
I was thinking something similar, like his skull or
Yeah,
something. You know?
yeah.
Nice.
Uh,
Love it.
I would take the blue bottle. I think that's fun. The-
Uh, yeah, I think I'm also gonna get a memento bottle. The tattoo doesn't really sing.
Hmm.
Doesn't really sing for me.
right. You're not
Okay.
alive, so that tracks. Right.
Um,
It could be something from like the Greek army or whatever, something that
I,
came through the.
I was thinking about that as you jumped, I was looking up like the name of like ancient Greek helmets.
Ooh.
Um, um, they're um, I'm just what like I think as you like jumped out, you an attic helmet came out. They're like they're the type of helmet that like goes over your head but then has like
Yeah,
the
has like the thing that
metal.
goes over
Hmm.
metal that goes over your nose, or
No, some of
no.
them do, but this is the one that has like the metal like sideburns that come
Hmm.
down to cover your face, and they were mostly ceremonial. And they have these like huge, almost mast type designs on the top
Hmm.
of it, and I think there's like a Poseidon
Hmm.
coming out of the top out of the like the top of it, like a mini Poseidon.
Sick.
Um,
Is that cool with you, Mike?
I love it.
Awesome.
An attic helmet with a Poseidon motif.
Okay, why don't we take a break a little bit early, before I
Yeah.
introduce the penultimate threat,
Mm.
and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Oh, and
W,
I did copy the move into the onto the move sheet, so
thank you.
set there.
How long are we thinking? Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Five? Okay.
5
That's
works.
fine. Yeah.
All right. See you guys in five.
Mhm.
Start. Okay. Next thread, in which we explore the ruins in the Emerald Jungle. I think it's a few days later. You don't actually have to sail very far, to find the Jaguar Island. That is the start of your endeavor. But as we described it when you solved the answer, there is a lot of turning round and round, almost like following this glowing compass and like all of these points on the map. So everyone is having to like take extra time. And you would think that they would start being frustrated by this, but actually, as people are getting closer and closer to the treasure, it's like almost like they can taste it, and everyone starts talking about what they're going to spend the treasure on when they get it. What are some things that are thrown out as, like suggestions for their portion of the treasure?
um,
I think we hear, I'm going to buy an island right there. I'm going to buy an island on the Caribbean right there and never sail again.
um,
Someone else says, "Buy an island." No, I want to buy my own ship. I want to be my own captain.
I think one person says, um, that what they really want that like islands and ships are good, but where the money is like exporting, and they want to own like a tobacco farm in like the colonies, or if they want to own a like a sugar thing, like that's where it is. Maybe like use it to become like, I'm going to become the governor of sort of, maybe all I can think in here in my head now is like the like King of New York from the Newsies, where they're all
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
where they're talking about like cigars
Hmm.
and hobnobbing with the rich, and
Yeah.
one person says that they're gonna like go to France and eat all of the pastries and stuff.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
think we.
Well, go
Oh no, I sorry. I think the last thing we see is Maggie, right, huddled over, and she's like, "I'm gonna get another good luck charm."
ahead. Aw,
Um,
poor Maggie.
I
Uh,
thought she was like looking over, being like, "There's a lot of people who are talking about like the teeth that they will get. Like, there's a lot of denture talk."
Definitely Monk, who we said was missing teeth, is like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a whole new set. Maybe
Mm,
a gold or
mm.
silver one. And everyone is just like one-upping each other and very excited until you kind of run into a dead end, right? And you all agree, like, this is the spot. The compass is glowing. It doesn't make any sense. Like, what is the next step? Why are we just at this random island? So I think, Jack, you get all the senior officers together over the map again, and you're like, where did we go wrong here? And after studying Morgan's map for hours and hours, you finally have a breakthrough, like an epiphany. You're able to decipher some of the arcane symbols and now realize you had been interpreting one of them incorrectly. What appeared to be an old fort with a cannon is actually a Mayan pyramid with the shape of a key drawn inside.
Oh.
Captain
Oh,
Jack, what about the symbol and map makes you think that this pyramid will is the final clue to point you towards the Isle Beyond the Mist?
What about this symbol makes me think that this is the final clue?
Mhm.
Um, I think that, and you said it was like the symbol of a Mayan pyramid with like a telescope on the top,
With a shape of a key drawn,
the shape of a key. Okay.
like at the summit or inside or something.
Looking at the key, yeah, like I think he's able to. I think he's able to interpret that as this was also the shape of a particular constellation.
Mhm.
It's not drawn. I mean, it's not a pyramid and a key, but it is a constellation that's in the southern sky,
Mhm.
which is why it didn't dawn on him immediately. But the points of this correspond to the stars, and if we go here, oh, and it also seems to like be in the shape of, it almost seems to be in the shape of like um it's almost like hands of a clock as well. So
Mhm.
if we go here and we look at this constellation at that particular time, it's going to tell us what the fun it's going to tell us, like through celestial navigation, it's going to tell us what direction we need to sail in.
Very plausible. Yeah. Your finger traces the route on the map to the Mayan temple, south of the Yucatan jungles on the shores of Lake Isabel, up the river Dulce that empties into the Caribbean. The area has a strong Spanish presence, but only fishing villagers between you and the Mayan ruins that holds the last key to Henry Morgan's map. For the viewers at home, I have tweaked this question a little bit, so don't yell at me if you're like, that's not right. Um, and the question is, how can the ruins in the Emerald Jungle be used to access the secret location of the Isle Beyond the Mist? Note that you must visit the pyramid at least once to unlock answering this question. So no staying around the village the whole time and just chatting up. Resolve the threat by performing a ritual to open the way to the Isle Beyond the Mist. There is a flag for this threat. It is the flag of the jungle. Each treasure hunter narrates a dream that they had about being lost in the Emerald Jungle. So we cut back in on you all, and you were sailing down the River Dolce, which is a river that empties into the Caribbean and is deep enough for larger ships to sail upstream. You pass these small fishing villages along its bank, and you know that at the far end, guarding the lake, is the Fort Castillo de San Felipe de Lora, which was severely damaged by attacks from the British and pirates. But you probably don't have to sail that far. But as you get closer, Or actually, sorry, you do pass it, and that's how you know you're getting close to one of the villages. But let's paint the scene. As you get closer, what implies the fort was actually destroyed by something supernatural?
The there are rents in the wall, holes in the
Hmm.
wall, that have, but they don't. We've at this point all seen what a cannonball does to a wall, and this isn't a cannonball hole. This isn't. This is the splintering of large claws,
Mhm.
or um, some or fangs or something. They're much too. They're more perpendicular rather than like explosion outs.
And I think we see on the other side of those imprints, we see like just a canyon, like that's been dug through the town in like a straight line. And every sort of structure in its way has been kind of cleaved. And I think when we hold the compass that shows where holy artifacts are, it points like directly away from it. Almost like it's being repelled by whatever happened
Well,
there.
Mhm.
I love it. And some of the there are some buildings inside the fortress's walls that we can see through the breaches of the walls that haven't yet that they're working on repairing, but they're not repaired yet.
Mhm.
Um, we can see that there are some buildings that have been destroyed, but they weren't destroyed by cannon fire. They clearly weren't destroyed by fire. It almost looks like someone picked up the building, tossed it in the air, let it fall and shatter.
So as the crew are looking out towards this fort, all of a sudden, people are a little bit less excited about going into this jungle. Delphine is kind of muttering to herself about the things that you described, like the obvious supernatural damages that took to the fort, and muttering, and then, um, you know, Alan Cheddar is kind of nervous. He's like, "Well, if we go into the village, we need supplies, but who knows if they just won't try to take our shares and everything." That's uh, and there's like a lot of fighting about what to do, and just everyone's a little demoralized. It might be
Where
time for an inspiring speech.
I was going to say, I think it
Yeah.
might be time for an inspiring speech here. That's my newest move. Let me read it.
To get everybody back on the same page, and
Yep. We all sail together. Once per session. When you call the crew together and the other treasure hunters together for a crew meeting, give them a stirring motivational speech and then remove one emotional or psychological condition from all treasure hunters who attended. Only once. You may also use this to remove a marked crew's trust box. I haven't I haven't marked any crew's trust boxes yet, so that hasn't come up.
Yeah, I think there were a couple times
I
where
think
I gave it as a complication, but you marked up a flag. But the crew
yep.
trust you really implicitly after all of the
Yeah.
travails that you've been together. So right now they're all looking to you for, like, if anyone can tell us what to do, it's the captain.
Right. So I gather the crew together, and the captain's standing on the everyone gathers on the main deck, and the captain's standing on the forecastle, like looking back. I think he's like leaning. I think he's dramatically posing. He's got like one leg up on on one of the rails. Is leaning forward and is looking very is looking very impressive. Those who might get a little too close to him might see
Mhm.
that there's he's got he's definitely got some rouge. He's definitely got some makeup on to make himself
Mhm.
look extra dashing. Um, and he says, "My loyal crew, you've sailed with me this thus far. We are close. We are close to more riches than we can imagine. And I know I can imagine a lot. We've
There's some
seen
laughter at that.
uh,
Ho ho ho.
we've seen
Oh.
strange things. We've dealt with strange situations. We're probably we have not we have probably not yet seen the strangest. But if anyone can get through this, it's you. I am
Mhm.
am trusting that we will all stick together as a crew to yeah, to complete our mission, to complete and to and to find the treasure at the and to find the treasure that we've been after this whole time. Stick together, folks, and I can taste it. We're almost there.
I think Don Pablo looks over at Old Book and he's like, you heard that? He said I could do it. He pointed to me.
Yep, he's talking just to you, my friend, my friend.
And he just
Nice
like
job.
beams. Yeah.
And like, during this talk, he makes direct eye contact with
Yeah.
several, with several individuals as he's doing this to try to, like get us all together as a team.
There's probably like a slow clap in the background, and Duncan probably just means it sarcastically, but then everybody starts
Yeah.
actually clapping.
Yeah.
So, it turns out, like into genuine applause. So anyone who was present for this, Old
Yeah,
Book and Cathal, you can remove a emotional or
an
psychological or physiological condition. Oh no,
yeah,
it says emotional or
emotional or
psychological.
psychological condition if you have one, and there's no
Mhm.
roll. This just happens.
I'll take
Ooh.
away overstimulated.
Mhm.
I'm
I think-
feeling much calmer at this point. It's
Both
been
of mine
a
are-
few days.
Both of mine are physical, so this is a fine by me. Yeah.
It's been enough time that being waterlogged probably,
Okay.
and that was more about
That's
being
fair.
miserable and stuff too. So,
All right.
your shoulder
That's
still hurts like shit though. You probably should get that taken
Shit.
care of.
Yeah, probably.
Or we get the whole game. I don't know. It's a role playing game. You do what you want. So you got well, go
I
ahead.
have a rule. I have a rules question about this move. Does it? Do I
Are
clear?
you-
Do I clear? Am I covered by this move or am I not?
Do you inspire yourself?
Do I inspire my? Does my inspire? Can can
I'm
can the
gonna
feedback? Can the feedback from the crew, since I've got them, does that help me as well? And can I?
I'm
clear
gonna
a
say you're no
psychological
longer
condition?
insulted, yeah, because people are you're riding this high of the crew's esteem, and you definitely can't fail, and everything's gonna go great forever. So go ahead and remove that one. So you guys have two options from here. You can embark in boats to the large fishing village, Morisco, which is about 30 to 40 houses up on stilts. If you want to ask the villagers, how they would get there, or you can just go straight into the jungle, trusting your luck and navigational skills.
I think I would like to. I'd like to talk to the villagers for one. Let's see if we could, perhaps, buy more supplies for our last leg of the journey. Might want to do some of that, and also to find out what do they know, what legends have they heard, where is this? I mean, we've got an idea of where this temple is, but like, how do we get, like knowing where it is on the map and actually getting there are two different things.
Is everybody going to the village, or is anyone like cutting ahead?
Oh, I don't know. Wouldn't it be funny if I just left?
No, yeah,
Um,
I am open to just being like, listen, you guys get ahead, right? I'll do a scouting party, right? To go keep an eye on things.
I think Book wants to talk. I think he's gonna try to find someone to talk magic with. This is a very specific type of curses and whatnot, and I think I need some a little bit of a bump, if you will.
Some juju.
Yeah, yeah, something to help a cat out.
Okay. Sounds good. It's probably for the best that you two go, because like everyone in this village speaks Spanish, and I don't think Cathal speaks like a lick of Spanish, so maybe that was the deciding factor.
Got it.
Yeah,
And yeah, when we established, and we have established in the fiction that
Yeah,
Jack
both
speaks
of you.
Jack speaks both Spanish and French.
Yeah, and
Nice.
Cathal was on a span, they were buds, so
Hmm.
yes.
Sounds good.
hanging out.
So let's start in the fishing village. So Morisco is a large fishing village on this lake. and it consists of 30 or 40 houses up on stilts that line a section of the lake's southern shore. As you are approaching, you see smoke from fires and activities of villagers. Like probably some kids playing, some people trading, bringing their fish that they've caught. The Spanish-speaking inhabitants, you see that they're armed with muskets and wary, but they're not like aggressive. Like nobody's holding up the guns and pointing them at you or anything. It seems to be mostly for protection. And there is a large open market with some stalls as well. What are some things in the market among the covered stalls that interest you or catch your eye?
Jack sees a one merchant that is selling a whole bunch of different kinds of tropical fruit. Whether he has an orchard or whether he finds these in the surrounding jungle and brings them back, but this merchant is selling all kinds of like just luscious looking tropical fruit.
Hmm.
And Jack is, you know, Jack like walks over to it and
Hmm.
is it admiring and is admiring the fruit and
Hmm.
like picks up a picks up like a Seville orange and like smells it
Hmm.
and nods and puts it down and I think he even perhaps
Hmm.
like buys some,
Yeah.
but
The
um he's
trader comes up to you, and she is a motherly woman dressed in light brown dress with a red headscarf. And as soon as she sees you holding up something, she's like, "I'm sure you have something of equal value to trade, do you not? Do you not see the quality that it's you cannot get this anywhere else in the world, my friend."
these fruits look fantastic.
Hmm.
And
They're quite
you
juicy.
know
They could feed your whole crew. And she's doing that merchant thing where she's like kind of cornering you in a little bit. So, so look at my other goods. There's enough I'm sure you're tired of eating what your chef prepares, right? You would like to have some variety, yes?
um So I think he'll so Jack actually will immediately will since
Hmm.
she wants to talk business, he will
Hmm.
immediately start negotiating
Hmm.
like getting some fruit for the crew. Because this actually looks like pretty darn good fruit. Like, Jack can't really eat it
Hmm.
anymore, but
Hmm.
it looks really good and
I think she's like, why don't you try some? You free a sample before you purchase. And she holds it like close to her mouth. But do you kind of like gesture it away because you can't eat it?
it's
Or...
like I mean, I don't think
Hmm.
Jack can, I mean Jack can
Hmm.
go through the motions of eating, but
Yeah.
um it's, and I think he will take a bite
Hmm.
and and will nod
Hmm.
and I haven't taken I mean there's one mask that you can take that the
Hmm.
captain can take that says that you can't get you can't experience pleasure anymore.
Hmm.
I haven't marked that, but
Hmm.
I'm just thinking that he's dead. He doesn't really need to eat, and I'm just
Sure.
thinking I'm thinking that when he tries to eat it, it kind of I think he can recognize that it would taste
Hmm.
good, but it doesn't actually taste good to him
I feel you.
because,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
to be polite, he will try some, and his eyes like you know, his he tries to make his eyes light up as much as he can, being that he's actually a walking corpse, but um, he nods and he starts actually negotiating to actually
Yeah.
buy a bunch of fruit and have it brought back to the ship because
And
we've got money. We've got
yeah,
money.
she seems to enjoy the process of haggling and bartering. It doesn't seem like she's trying to rip you off or anything. It's more that there's not a lot of visitors that pass through this area very often. So she's just enjoying this whole back and forth. If you want to try to get some information from her during this
So once
process, you
we've
could.
Yeah, once we've actually, so I am legitimately going to buy like,
Mm,
several crates of fruit. I mean, basically, I'm going to buy whatever fruit that she has to offer.
mm,
If she's like a fruit merchant,
mm,
yeah, I'm going to, basically, I'm going to like I'm going to buy out what she's offering to have it brought back to the ship because we can always, fresh fruit is good, no scurvy. But after we've done that, I'm guessing she's going to be at least somewhat positively inclined because I'm paying with, I'm paying with Spanish gold doubloons,
Yeah, like actual money.
actual money.
Yeah.
And I will, then ask, so we've heard rumor that there is an old Aztec temple around here. I'm sorry, Mayan temple around here. Do you know anything of it or like where it is? Have you heard rumors about it? That sort of thing.
She starts like scratching her chin a little bit.
Or if you don't know, if you would know who would know.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and roll plus presence? And
Roll
we'll see what she knows.
information move with presence. Where did I put my die roller? There it is. I think my presence is 3, but let me double check that.
Yeah, it's 3.
My presence is 3.
Wow.
So charming.
The charmingest.
That is an 8.
He's okay on the charming.
I rolled a 5 on the dice.
She's like, I have never been there myself, but look at this. It's very interesting. And she kind of rummages around in some of her stuff behind the fruit. And there's like a chest, and she's like pulling, no, you wouldn't be interested in that, but possibly this. And she holds up over to you. It's like half of a golden amulet with Mayan glyphs. And she's like, please take this. I'll throw it in. It's a good bargain for you. Yes.
Yes. I will take the amulet and take a look at it.
I sold the other half to some Spanish soldiers who are headed towards the pyramid. If you wish to have the complete set, you could buy it off of them.
How long ago was that?
She's trying to like put her figures. A few dos semanas, 2 weeks.
Days, weeks, 2 weeks ago.
Hmm.
Other Spanish sailors were also trying to find it.
Yes, and
Good to know.
some of their friends arrived last week as well. It seemed to be a big, they had tents and it seemed like they were in for the long haul. So that is your complication. You are not the only people looking for this treasure.
Nice.
Mm.
And the clue is an amulet.
Half of a golden amulet with Mayan glyphs.
Okay.
No, she does say that it certainly came from the temple. Because she has like, other villagers who go there and, get stuff for her from the ruins. Meanwhile, Book, I think you're getting kind of walking more along where the village huts are, and you see this woman, a local villager. She's a mother in her 40s. There's like several small children surrounding her, just playing and laughing, and she's probably doing some washing on her white apron. But everyone else is just kind of like polite to you as you pass. But she stares directly at you with her deep brown eyes. And she says, no one from the sea has come here in many years. And now, in this 1 month, there haven't been many of you. It is an omen, I think, of things that are to come and change.
I think Book leans in close and says, well, if I was about 40 years younger, it would be an omen of our soon-to-be nuptials. But I believe that the life of the bachelor is what I have left in me. And he takes off his hat, like his little cap that he's had, and it's just like all scraggly hair, just like wisps. The name is Book, but most of my friends call me Old Book. And so, what can and how may I address you, madam?
My name is probably too long for you. You may call me Jada. Jada.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you, Miss Jada. You could tell me there's a chance that I could actually give it a go, but I understand.
She says something really long in Mayan that I probably would not be able to pronounce.
Sure. And he says, fair enough. But it's very nice to meet you.
What business do you have in this village other than being my husband? And she kind
Oh,
of like smirks at you.
and he, does a little look back. Oh, that's it's a little complicated, if I may say so. Um, sees I'm on the ships, and we're looking for something. Perhaps you've heard of it. It's a temple, a pyramid of your people or the people that came before you, and we're trying to find. It's the last stop before we hit our last stop.
Go ahead and roll.
What am I rolling?
Mm,
Hmm.
I mean, it kind of feels like presence that you were trying to charm her. I know that's terrible for you.
That's all right, because
That's what makes it work.
I'm
Do you want
hoping to
to try
go do
to mark
well.
something or?
No, I'm good. I'm hoping to not do well. Um,
You want to use your
let's.
mold collection, right?
Oh,
To
I hope
woo
you
her.
don't mind. Oh,
It's for the kids, you know?
oh, the ladies love cool
Yeah.
mold. No.
Tasty, tasty.
So that is a -1, 2d6, and I'm going to roll. Hey, that's an 8. But I'm going to mark no 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 no.
Mm,
I'm gonna mark the next flag of fortune that I have because the narrate a flashback to dark magic you saw Captain Morgan perform in the Emerald
yeah.
Jungle.
Oh, great. I
Um,
know exactly how that might trigger your flashback then.
Yep. So
Hmm.
that I was just waiting for a bad roll so that I could do that given where we are.
And she says
Uh
something like, we avoid that place. It is very dangerous. You're just haunted by jaguar spirits. And if it was not before, now that that man came, the priest, there have been, you will not believe me, sir, but some of the villagers claim that they have seen the dead that walk ever since he came there. Skeletons, men whose flesh sloughs from their bones. It is a haunted place, sir. I would turn back and continue sailing on. It's not worth your life, what little remains of it.
um and when she talks about a haunted place since the man was there, we flash back to um we see Book, 50 years younger, 40 years, like actually in his early 40s or 30s, having served under uh Captain Morgan for a decade at this point, because he was about 20 when Morgan first took him and made him a member of his crew. Um, and he sees a woman who bears a shocking resemblance to the woman that he's talking to. But she's young and she's pregnant. Um, and this is obviously this woman's mother, a whole generation ago. And around them is this village, um, which has taken so long to heal itself from the wounds that were given. Um, but it's Henry Morgan who destroyed it originally. We see the jaguar spirits that Morgan has called forward, slashing open, rending the walls. We see them digging the trenches and the caverns that are behind the walls. We see them these houses that have been picked up and then dropped upside down. Each uh it's almost like a star wipe, if you will, like a he as he spins around to look at the like this village that has all these things that suggested the damage was caused by supernatural things. He's watching it happen. Um, as Morgan was the cause of it, and he like I think there's maybe like a barrel near this woman, like that's been like shattered and converted into a piece of furniture, and Book kind of shakily puts out a hand on it. He says, "I pardon me, Jada. I suddenly feel a little light-headed. You mind if I just sit for a moment?" And he sits.
She looks concerned, and she tells the kids to go get you some water from the well and everything.
Oh, that would be right. Fine, thank you. I'm not. The last time I was here, I was a fitter young man, and I'm afraid your heat has gotten to me a little bit at this point.
She raises her eyebrow at the last time you were here, but I don't think she comments on it.
Yeah. But he says, but you said there's a priest wandering these parts now, do you?
At least he was dressed like one. But I do not think he follows any god.
No, not a god that yous or eyes follows. Book says he doesn't know how to stay dead. So I guess I'm gonna have to help him with that. But that does take it from an 8 to a 10.
Yeah. Just to be clear, the only reason I introduced Maxwell is because you guys got a 12 plus on the jungle introduction question. So he was going to be there anyways, but you don't get any like condition or anything from that. Just some advanced knowledge, actually.
Okay.
Meanwhile, in the jungle path, Cathal, I think, are you you're going by yourself, or are you taking anyone with you?
I was gonna go by myself, and just be on a scouting party, figuring it out.
So we see you, the camera kind of follows you. It snakes along after you as this path snakes its way through the trees as it's heading deeper into the jungle. As you leave the village, you see fewer signs of trees felled for lumber or garden areas, and the undergrowth just becomes denser and denser. Mosquitoes and biting flies start discovering your presence in the damp forest. Do they bite at you, or because you are blessed by below? How do the flies and mosquitoes react to you, actually?
I think I get a few of them bite me and they die, like just instantly. So I've got like a few just sort of dead mosquitoes and fleas kind of littering the bottom of the boat. But I've also never been like a particularly clean person, I think. So they're just standing around.
You can't see anyone, but how are you for certain you're being followed?
I think that whenever I turn, I hear this kind of whisper, kind of coming through the winds, and I think the voice at the back of my head is making this sound that's like a crackle almost. But I think as soon as I look, it's just dead silence. Every sound in the forest goes flat, and it's like all noise has been canceled.
So you could stick around to try to find out these people or things that are following you, or you could continue on. What do you do?
I think I continue on. I think I take the sense of I'm here for a reason. I gotta keep moving. And if they're gonna come at me, we'll fight them. I say as I sort of rub my shoulder.
So they don't immediately announce themselves. You get a
Mhm,
little bit deeper into the jungle, and you start seeing like these large trees with multiple canopies of colorful birds and spider monkeys climbing above you.
mhm.
They're really thick vines and lush undergrowth. So it starts slowing your movements. You can't go as quick as you were before. Invisibility
Mhm.
starts to get more and more limited. There's like random micro downpours that leave you, along with the humidity, start leaving you like soaking wet. Where's the one dry spot you find on your clothes?
Uh, I think the very I think I'm just drenched in sweat, drenched in path. I think I've like fully just taken off the shirt, right? I think my socks are the only thing somehow that I've avoided at all, just because I'm being very careful about splashing water inside. But everything else, I'm just taking it off again, ready to get wild.
Um, I think as you take off your shirt, you hear a whistle from behind you, and then like someone like cursing in Spanish. And Your sexiness has caused them to reveal themselves early.
Oh
There,
yeah?
there's an annoyed looking man. He's very tall. He's got like a weathered face and a long black mustache. And he's wearing like a breastplate, but it's pretty
Mhm.
like rusty. And next to him is a hard woman with an eye patch over her left eye, who's also wearing like a rusty chainmail and a broad brimmed hat. And she's kind of like staring you, like eye fucking you a little.
Oh,
And he's mad at her, but he looks over at you and he's like, "My name is Alejandro, and this is my Lieutenant Lana. We were wondering why you are here in this place. Are you British?"
don't insult me, right?
Hmm.
Right? I don't have a country, right? Uh, but I'm here looking,
Hmm.
taking in the sights. Is that a crime?
Lana says, taking in the sights, and again stares kind of up and down your chest.
Take
And
a look.
Alejandro did said, "Don't bullshit me. There's only one reason to be here in this jungle. What do you know about the temple?"
I don't know, shite. I think you'll find I'm not quite the brains of the outfit over here, but
Hmm.
I'm just looking to make sure that we got safe passage moving forward. And it looks like you guys have that settled, right? Unless you guys are gonna frisk me down. All right, I don't see what else we got to do here.
He starts reaching for the pistol at his side, but Lana like puts her hand over his, and she's like, "My friends, we should be able to come to some sort of agreement, no? The temple complex, it's big enough for the both of us. We have our troops, and I assume that you have friends with you, yes?
I've always got friends with me. Yeah.
How
But I
many?"
do it. I'm not a counting man myself, right? But I do have to ask. You're also looking for the temple. I'd love to know what you're doing about. Oh, I feel
Go
like
ahead
we
and
could
make
get to some.
a information move.
Yeah. Uh, presents? Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like presence. Well, actually, it could be composure too, because you're trying to keep
Yeah.
things pretty close to the vest. Like they're trying to get a sense
Hmm.
of how many of you there are, and maybe you're getting a sense of how many of them there are.
Hmm. I'm going to flash my scars, right? Kind of position them so they're glistening, just so that they get a sense that I'm serious business here.
Yeah.
They understand that I can withstand. So 3 high, 2 plus 1. That's a 10.
Ooh, ooh.
I think Alejandro tries to scare you a little bit. He's
Mhm.
like, "It is not a place for you, friend. When we arrived at the Acropolis, we saw a skeleton tied to a stone pillar, and it was wearing ragged sailor clothes, just like you. If you go there, that is what will happen to you. You will just be tied up and left for dead, and no one will mourn you."
First of all, most of the people that you see tied up and dead that are other soldiers are because of me, right? Or someone like me. So don't you worry about where I'm coming from here, right? You should worry about yourself more than anything else, right? Uh, but more importantly, right? We could be friends, you know? And I do think I'm in a bit of a rush, right, to get there. So if you want to make a race out of it, that's fine, but I'd love to have your friendship otherwise. And I am going to check a box because I also wanted to check a box
Oh, okay.
for the flag of rebellion.
So that would make it a 12 plus.
That would make it a 12. Yes.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and narrate that now, or?
Yeah, I think we see a scene back on the ship where uh where Cull is like doing the usual kind of bleeding on himself, and he sees the skull kind of light up with a particular fire right around it. It's not a blue flame, but it's red, and it sort of spreads around in a circle, right, licking some of the nearby spots. And we hear from the back of sort of the skull, "Get on it," right? Get the skull and crush it. You're losing your touch, Cull. Stop fucking around and stop fucking. Right there. And Cull just sort of sits there, is like, "I don't know what you mean, sir. Satan, sir, man." Uh, he goes, "Shut the hell up and move."
Hmm.
And that gives me the condition anxious, right there.
Yeah, maybe
Um,
like you're kind of worried about there's some time pressure, like you said, like
mhm.
how much time do you actually have before your
Yeah.
patron collects? So they
Hmm.
kind of have some harsh, hush conversation together, like they turn to each other, and he bends down and you hear like bits and pieces of it, and she's like, "We should tell them where we are. Maybe we could use more men against that priest." And he's like, "You just want to fuck him. That's the only reason you want to show him where the camp is." And she's, "Well, yes, but that's not the only reason." And
Hey,
finally, after a little
Al-
bit of this,
Alejandro, there's enough for all of us. All right. You don't
yeah,
have to go back to comp for this, right? We're right by the river. It's fine. It's
yeah.
scenic. Right? Yeah.
Finally, they come to some kind of agreement, and our camp is nearby. Bring your friends, and we will plan an approach to the temple. There is the dead walk there, and we could use your help. Assuming
Okay.
you're a decent shot and not a complete waste of space.
Think you'll find it take up as much space as I need, right? But more importantly, before you leave, that priest, can you tell me a little bit about it, right? Priest wandering in the dangerous waters is pretty rare.
They
But
describe, exactly what Maxwell looks like.
yeah.
Very, very old, wearing black robes, skull, where it should be a crucifix, um,
Yeah.
and and the Walking Dead. So,
General
I
mm,
think
douchebag.
Yeah, I think because my character, having not been in the churches throughout, has not had any interactions with Maxwell for since basically being introduced to Satan. So I think my eyes go wide. I start sweating a bit more, certainly
mm.
than I was before. And I go, "I'll get right back to you with it. Pleasure being today. Can I get a map with the directions, please?"
They at least describe some landmarks and stuff, that you can use to make a map later.
Locked it away. All right.
Oh, brilliant and handsome. You know,
Yeah, just you wait. I got more in store than that. There.
and he just starts. Alejandro starts cursing, and Juana maybe looks back at you with her. I almost
Right.
said she winks, but she has an eye patch. But she
Yeah,
takes a look
just
back
fully.
before she leaves.
I'll see both of you later. Don't you worry. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to take one quick break and
Sure.
have you all
Yeah.
meet back up together?
Hmm.
Hmm.
And we could flash forward to the camp, or you guys could meet back in the village, however you guys want to handle that. So,
I will leave that up to other people.
okay.
How
That seems
they're
like
feeling.
that's a captain decision if I've ever heard of
Yeah,
one. But,
All right.
most definitely.
Let's
yeah.
take 5 minutes to do bio stuff and
Cool.
think about that and reconvene.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right. All right. So what is the plan? Do you all reconvene and then you're like, let's take a squad of people to go to this camp? Do you all like, we don't trust these guys at all. We're going to try to beat them there. What do you think? Do you want to have a scene with the three of you?
Yeah, I think that would be good.
I think that'd
Yeah.
be good. Like back at the ship, having a scene with the three, either back at the ship or in the village, having a like. I'll let the other players decide where they want to meet, but I think we should have a heads up to figure out like, so there's another group that's also trying to get to the temple, and
Yeah.
The-
They're
It's
pretty they're pretty insistent on the sound of it, but they seem friendly enough.
it
Kind of
sounds like
some of them.
there are two
did they
groups.
say did they say what they were trying to find there?
Doesn't matter.
Well, I suppose not.
I think
They said
this
they're
may be one of those friends of my friends is my enemies.
Mhm.
Wait, no, I got that backwards.
Actually, Tom,
Like,
I think I'll retcon a little. You probably heard Alejandro griping, like, we've been here for weeks and we haven't brought back any treasure yet, or something like that.
Mhm.
So that
Oh,
they're very motivated by money.
yeah. Then aren't we at the end of the day? Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, of course we are.
And we're better than them in any way. So, they just want to clear out some of the early stuff, more for easier parts for the later. Yeah.
I mean, if we find some treasure at this temple, great, but
It's not the.
that's not what we're here for. This is a means to an end. This is a
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say that I wouldn't mind watching strangers die at the hands of the reanimated dead. Uh, you know, let them rend their flesh and eat their flesh and
No,
wear their flesh,
it's
and
a
then
classic.
we kill the
in other words,
priest.
if we work, if we I'm, I'm not alliance is perhaps too strong a term, but if we join forces temporarily, let them take the lead, let them be the cannon fodder.
Yeah,
Better
yeah,
them than us.
we're gonna walk in the same direction as
Hmm.
they's walks, and then
And maybe let them go first.
yeah, that we'll we'll stop to lace up our
Yeah.
boots,
I,
as
I,
it
w-
were.
I will throw out, they did mention that there was a priest that was getting out there before them, right? So I think there might be someone else also in play besides them.
Did they describe him?
It's kind of a spooky man. I give it exact description of Maxwell.
Yeah,
Yeah, like,
that
kind of a creepy kind of man, but also kind of respectful and important,
Oh,
the
great.
he had a
that
skull
Okay, and
situation.
motherfucker.
oh, that guy. Oh, that guy.
Just
Out of
crawling
character.
with.
I mean, Jack totally knows who this guy is. I'm blanking on his name.
He is Henry
Maxwell.
He's
Morgan's
Henry Morgan's. He's Henry Morgan's
necromancer.
like
Yeah,
priest
it's
of like.
necromancer essentially. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. He's Henry Morgan's a necromancer who like poses as a priest, but he's really like, a
Mhm.
necromancer and like
It's
devil
implied
worshiper.
that he might have brought Henry Morgan back from the dead. If not him, then like some of the skeletal crew that have
Yeah.
been seen with him.
He was the one who definitely, like, I think we, through the narrative and the solving of the skeleton Jack, like, he brought skeleton Jack
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
life. We
Mhm.
did
Yep.
that was one of the things.
Yeah.
Well, the player, am blanking. I remember who he is. I'm blanking on his name.
Maxwell.
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 And oh, I hate that fucking priest.
You
His
and me both,
crabs
Book.
have herpes. God, that motherfucker.
Uh,
Um,
I give you a high five.
There's a vibrant blue color coming from the window. None of you really paid much attention to it because the sky is outside of them very vibrant blue with large gray cloud
mhm.
formations. But as one of you looks over to the window, the glow is coming from a figure leaning with his head on his hands and on the windowsill. And the spectral image of Henry Morgan is staring at you all. And he says, I am pleasantly surprised you've gotten this far. I sincerely am. I suppose now you might suspect this is all part of my plan. Having you retrace my footsteps. Uh, you think you understand, but you clearly do not. No, no matter. You shall soon find out.
I shoot. Right, I shoot him.
It goes straight through his
Yeah, yeah,
head.
yeah.
I was going to say, as you draw his pistol, like Jack tries to put his hand
Yeah.
on your arm, but you're too fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Pavel, have you not tried that so many times that you don't you ever get tired of it?
I'm gonna get you one
You're
of these
just
times. I'm gonna get
Cathal,
you next time.
Cathal, you're just wasting ammo on this apparition.
Never a waste.
I
Well,
mean,
perhaps when we see each other in person, it'll be a different story.
you're an ingrown hair on a whore's vagina. Go the fuck away.
No matter. My priest will deal with you soon. And he just vanishes.
Really not loving this priest situation that's all surrounding me, but I do feel
Well, I
like
mean, I don't think he's the kind of priest you would necessarily have a theological problem with.
Hmm.
I think I might have more of an agreement with
Um,
him than we would all think. Yeah.
I feel like this
but
is one of those times where you behead the priest.
yeah, this is one that this is a priest that I will have no compunction running my sword through his chest, assuming that will actually kill him.
Hmm.
He is indeed some kind of necromancer.
Um,
Only one way to find
He's not
out.
a he's not a priest at all. He's a wizard, and a black one at that.
one of our fair friends who understands the opposite side, either Lieutenant Alvaro or Skeleton Jack, be able to help us as we figure out how to kill the dead.
Jack
So,
might have a Jack might have some ideas in that regard.
yeah, I feel. Oh, look, you don't have something locked away in that brain of yours for ghost killings?
Well, I mean, there's a lot that you can do for killing ghosts. There's salt, they hate that, and
Mm.
the tears of a baby, they hate that,
Oh,
but I'm not sure I'm ready in the mood to make a baby cries. Let's see. They hate the cries of a deflowered virgin. They don't like that either. I've
oh,
heard that if you put uh, hang some crosses upside down, well, he may like that one. And Book is just like running through everything that you
yeah.
think. If you put like if you can tempt them with milk and honey, and nope, that's the fair folk. And I think if you throw a
I think I
bunch of
I think I slap you on the face at this
okay,
point.
sorry.
My book, come back to us.
So you're gonna go find Skeleton Jack?
Yeah, let's go find Skeleton Jack. I think if we do our best to like dress him up to make him look less skeletal, let's take him with us.
Yeah.
Where do you find him? Or maybe he's just hanging out in the jungle, because he can't really get spied by anyone. Is he humming a sad tune to himself or tapping his skull as he thinks dark thoughts?
I think he's sad.
Hmm.
Also, while you guys are doing this, I'm gonna go get my my shoulder taken care of, right? That you guys go off and do that.
All right.
All right.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I think Skeleton Jack is humming a sad tune to himself.
maybe you're walking into on this jungle path that Cathal talked about earlier, and Captain, the swarms of mosquitoes and biting black flies that weren't bothering Cathal at all, they're just like descending on you specifically. They're
Hmm.
completely ignoring Old Book and just like kind of
That's
swarming
right.
around you. How what do either of you react to that? Yeah,
Um,
just waving it away.
yeah, he says, you're looking, a mite, covered there, Captain. Does it not
Don't
bother you?
they don't usually bother me. This is interesting in a irksome sense.
Um, I hear that if you hold your hand up real tight, they swarm around the highest things. Put your hand up.
I will attempt that.
And as you look up at them, above you, you see in the tree line, and you actually hear him this like humming sound. And Skeleton Jack is just sitting on a branch, looking really forlorn and humming to himself. And then he just kind of stops and he looks down at you. It's like, oh, I thought I would be alone out here. It's the only place I can be alone.
Oh, hey Jack. Sorry to trouble you.
No
You have a
trouble,
moment?
Jack. I have an infinite amount of moments because I cannot die.
Yeah, I can kind of understand that.
Hmm.
Um,
Do you know all of the things that I miss about being alive?
Um, Shitting.
When I was alive, I never enjoyed that. But now I
Oh,
would love a good shit.
I'm
Yes,
telling.
straining over a bucket and the sensation when you finally get it out and it plops in the water and there's just that relief. Oh, I would love to shit everywhere over that boat.
Damn near biblical.
Mhm. What are some other things that he says he misses about being alive?
Hmm.
well, I'm guessing the opposite of. I'm guessing the up. I'm going to say he then goes on to the opposite of shitting and talking about all of the foods that he
Mhm.
misses and all of the drink that he misses being able to
Mhm.
consume. He makes a comment about like there was one time since I got this I I found some of the best rum and I popped the cork and I popped the cork and I put it to my mouth and I felt it just drip down my
Mhm.
bones such that I was standing in a bottle of rum that I couldn't even taste.
Couldn't even piss it out, neither, stuff like that.
Um, I think he talks about the feeling of different like fabrics. I have
Hmm.
a feeling that like he was
Mhm.
like a fancy guy. He loved some silk and some cotton and some this and that. Like, and now it's just like all his nerve endings are dulled, so he
Hmm.
can't even like feel like if he were to dress up in like snuggly PJs, he couldn't
Yeah.
even like a long night like a long nightgown or whatever they're called, like sleeping gown. He could never. It wouldn't
What would
matter.
even be the point? I would look
Yeah.
fabulous, but I wouldn't even feel it.
I I do think he finishes up with, and I miss opium, right? Uh, it just doesn't
Getting
do it. It just doesn't do the same without the muscles and the
Yeah.
rest.
It was the
Um,
best, yeah.
getting
uh,
so baked. Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
so you can try to ask him to cheer him up. You're like, what? No, we want you to be useful, Jack. We still need you. He crosses his arms. Like, what do you need me for? If you want to try to seek his counsel about
yeah.
the undead and stuff.
Um, we've heard, Jack. We're trying to kill what we think is a dead priest
Hmm.
who's ups and abouts. You know him, Maxwell. He was the one hunting you on the island.
Hmm.
We're trying to kill him for good, and he's right here on. I mean, not right here, but
Hmm.
he's here in the jungle. And I was wondering if you had any ideas about how we could kill him for good.
Hmm. Okay. Go ahead and roll with probably sensitivity because you're talking about dead people
The dead
with a dead person.
with a dead person. Doot.
Do you want to
Uh,
mark off anything?
we'll see. We'll see if
You're not
I
going to give him his sword back.
I could give, yeah, you know what? I'll give him a that makes him feel
Especially if we
better.
want to, especially if we want to like, I'm thinking we might want to bring him with us for the
Yeah.
swashbuckling phase. We can only do this
Yeah.
twice, but this is
Hmm.
the penultimate threat, so maybe
Yeah,
this
I'll
would be
give
a
him,
good time to bring him
yeah,
along.
I'll give him his sword back then. Okay, that's 11.
Kind of cheers him up a little bit. Like, I thought I lost it forever. But
Nope. Keeps almost getting lost, but we have it. Oh wait, no, it's 12 because I only added one, so it's 12 because I have a +1, not a plus or +3, not a +2 on sensitivity. So
Oh, that is a 12th. Yeah.
that is a 12.
do I have ideas?
'Cause
I have lots of ideas. And he like hops down. I While you were off talking to the people I can't talk to, I went a little bit further and I saw that Acropolis. And it's big. It's very, very big. And in the center is well, the back where the temple is, there's a cenote. Do you know what a cenote is, Book?
I don't.
It is a pool of water under a cave. That is like an underground pond. And on the temple wall, I saw this mosaic painting of uh, sorry, a mosaic of these priests walking into the cenote. And I think I would like to put him in that cenote and drown him. I think that would be
Oh,
very satisfying. And the other thing I would like to do, like he reaches into his pack or cloak or whatever, and he pulls out this club with spikes on it. Do you know what this is? This is a Makawik.
oh,
Makawik. Yeah, and it's made of obsidian, and you can just bash the shit out of someone. And he's like just wailing down with it and knocking, you know, pieces of wood away. And that's another thing I would like to do to it. If you could hold him down and I just like get a good couple of whacks in, that would be very satisfying, I think.
that sounds wonderful.
Hmm. Um,
Uh,
so that is your clue. Two clues. A mosaic of Mayan priests walking into a cenote sinkhole, and a Makawik made completely out of obsidian that he says like, oh yeah, I found it in a creek near the temple. And because you got a 12 plus, he gives it to you. He's like, you hold on to this for me. I'm worried about it breaking off my bone fingers, and it takes forever to find them in this jungle. Um, so, but just remember to give me a good whack.
yeah, it sounds wonderful. And then I'll just like pass that to either the captain or to the captain. I'm not a swingy guy.
Okay. So I'll put that as a clue, and you can add it to your items, Captain Jack.
How do you spell that?
I put it on the clue. It's
Oh, okay.
yeah, not how you would think.
Oh.
To a cenote.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what he tells you. And Cathal, you said you were gonna go deal with your shoulder.
That's right.
How are you doing that?
I Duncan's been a shit, but I guess we're going back. Duncan, get over here.
Hmm.
Duncan, I got very important business for you right there. We gotta go. We gotta go into the captain's quarters while he's out. And, all right. Something's
But
going on here.
You know, last week, last time we spoke, you said that I should stop trying to screw over the captain.
We're not
Now
screwing him
you
over.
want me to go into his quarters without permission.
Yeah. We're respecting him. We're respecting him by looking out for him, right? Trying to figure out what's going on here, right?
He narrows his eyes. You're up to
Also,
something.
just to be clear, like you're a dead man walking if I talk about what you're trying to do with that stuff back there.
It's like, all
So
right, all right. You don't have to
fucking
fucking
do
yank
it.
my chain. And
I'll
he's
yank it
gonna
off
call
right,
out to you.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go into the captain's quarters, and I'm looking for evidence of anything supernatural there that would be within my understanding.
Okay. Captain's quarters. Um, let's talk about how it's changed since the last time,
Mhm.
we described it. Because we described it at the very beginning and we talked about the taxidermied parrots and stuff. But this large room is in the forecastle down a small hallway that contains other small cabins. There's a long table and benches in the center, a small desk off to one side, and a small bed on the opposite side. The entire back wall is windows that can be shuttered during storms. How have you guys added on to it through the resolution of these threats? Like, what are some mementos and stuff that we see from your adventures so far?
I think we've got a stack of like stuff for deciphering like the map.
Hmm.
Like we've got the books, we've got the codes, we've got like just a bunch of figures that we've been moving around the map, and it's like taken up a huge chunk of the table.
Hmm.
Um, I think there's a shelf full of mugs from different like bars and inns and stuff that like Jack has pocketed when he's been pretending to drink. Like, oh, this is delicious, and he like just puts it like
Yeah.
under his coat and he walks out with it. Um, and so I think there's like just like a whole shelf of
Oh.
those.
Oh, he loves to drink.
Loves to drink.
Yeah,
He's always
I think
coming
he's
on
got
and
like
being
a
like,
drinking problem.
"Yeah, I'll finish this
Oh,
later. Back in my room, dump."
It that happened to my dad. He used to hide alcohol. It was so sad.
Oh,
oh, tragic, tragic.
yep. But
Yeah, and I think as time goes on, like on like on the stand, there's like there's like a chest of drawers where he keeps his clothing.
Hmm.
There's like a vanity table with a looking glass, and um, I think there's just several makeup kits that are like on the on
Mm.
the that are right there,
Oh,
which
Hmm.
he's picked up at various ports of call,
Hmm.
many of which are like a couple of the kits, don't have a lot of makeup left in them. Some of the and like the one he's picked up most recently, still has most of it. But you know, why would why would the dashing captain
Hmm.
be using so much makeup?
Yeah, and yeah, like we see Duncan looking through it, can perplexed, and he throws it aside. It's like there's nothing worth rooting around here.
it's probably a gift, right? I don't know. The
You know, I know what you're up to. You just want to do something transgressive so you can fulfill your sick urges. Why don't we just
um,
cut to it and do the most transgressive thing I can think of? And he points to the captain's bed. If you just want to defile it and then go about your day, then but I have stuff to do. So
I'm going to throw one more detail.
yeah,
The bed is made. It's a little dusty, like no one
yeah,
slept in here for a
untouched.
while.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Hey, first of all, we're obviously not doing it in the bed. It's clear. Look how well he keeps it, right? He would know instantly.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, no, on the table, if anything, and obviously we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
No, the I mean, you've got brains here, right? You've got perspective into things, and I was hoping you would get something into it. If you weren't just so fuck for brains over here that you couldn't be, bring something else to the table, right?
Okay.
You're downplaying your own intelligence here. Yeah.
You can, because it's a vulnerable move with an NPC, you can stumble upon a clue, but you're going to have to make a risky move first.
Yeah.
What are you? I think it's composure, because
Mhm.
you're not supposed to be in here.
Yeah.
What are you worried about happening if you fall short or lose your nerve?
I think I damaged the map, right? I think I damaged the map
Uh,
in a way that would be hard to make up.
okay, sounds good.
Yeah. 2 + 1.
Kind of like throw everything off the table to.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. Whoops, too much.
Mhm.
That's a 6.
Oh no!
Yeah, so as you guys are trying to clear some stuff off the table for fun times and just searching for stuff, you hear like this big sound, and Duncan looks down and he's like, "Oh, shite!" And he's holding
Duncan.
up like a third of the map.
Duncan. No. Duncan.
I assume you want to
Okay.
mark a flag.
Yeah. You're gonna get punished for that one. Yeah, I'll check the flag of the Flying Dutchman. Whispers
Oh,
whispers in the dark urge you to commit great acts of violence, increase your sensitivity by 1, and reduce your composure by 1.
So what he's actually holding up is a water damage page from a Mayan codex. And he's like, I think it was actually one of the books that the captain had collected. I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah,
Some
you
of
gave me a
these,
heart attack there.
and you hear a whisper on your head. It's like you should punish him for
Yeah.
his insolence, for his incompetence. And you just feel the urge to like just knock his teeth out.
oh no!
Duncan, that was a bad move on your part. Uh,
You told me to do it. You said you know all about books. How is it my fucking
oh,
fault?
Duncan, I do think we're going to be having a different arrangement here after this, because the treasure is the only thing that this is about.
Hmm.
Uh, and I think I gotta follow through on the urge, right? Yeah, no, I think I grab like a pencil, right? And I think I leave kind of a giant mark up his arm, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that'll be writing for next time.
So you can clear dislocated shoulder, but replace it with the urge.
Mhm.
Oh, I mean, I
And
don't
yeah.
really like Duncan, but I don't like that.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
not
we see
me.
him later just like cradling his arm as he makes his way to the medical area.
Mhm.
Cool, cool. Oh, sorry. The clue that you found is a water damaged Mayan codex accordion folded
Mhm.
book with 12 pages of glyphs and astronomical drawings. So that
Yeah.
was just like one page that was ripped from it that he thought was the map page, but it's actually a more extensive book.
Hmm.
And you don't have to read it. There are pictures, so that's very helpful for
Yeah.
you.
It's extremely good for me.
Yeah. Cool, cool, cool.
Cool, cool, cool.
Do we want to have one final scene at the camp, or do you think this is a good place to cut things? How are you guys
I
feeling?
think I'm not sure. Like, I'd be okay with one final scene in the camp, like
Yeah.
showing up.
Hmm.
Yeah, that way we
Um,
can sort of go straight to the thing kind
next
of
time.
next session. Yeah.
Okay. So it's a little while later, and you have all collected some of your boys, like some of the gun crew.
Hmm.
Well, Captain, how much force would you show up with, do you think? Like how many people are you rolling with?
Well, how many men were, how many did Cathal say was there?
You only saw
I think,
two.
yeah, I only saw two. They suggested more. Yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe we'll show up with half a dozen, us plus half a dozen.
Okay. So yeah, there's the eight of you, and you make your way to this jungle clearing. It looks like they've used slash and burn techniques to cut it out. And there's like
This is
these
not environmentally friendly.
there are these like tents set up for and there's probably like a band of around like 30 armed mercenaries.
Whoa.
So it's a pretty extensive camp. But it looks kind of like in bad shape. Like they've been having like a rough time. Maybe some of the tents are ripped from some of the periodic rainstorms. Maybe some of the soldiers look a little lean, like they haven't really been eating very well or sleeping very well. There's probably some coughs from people who've been dealing with like mosquitoes and stuff, malaria probably. Um,
Hmm.
but at least some of them do look like they're seasoned Tari fighters, and they're kind of like eyeing you as you come up. Then Alejandro and Juana make their way out of one of the tents when they are informed of your approach. And Juana is like, "You came! Welcome, new friends. Sit by our fire and share in our delights."
Your delights for sure. Thank you for the invitation. Right.
And Alejandro is like, "We don't need to waste a lot of time with pleasantries. We're here on an important task. It's good that you have brought more men at arms. The clearing there are uh, at least as many as us Walking Dead, and they actually can use muskets, which I do not understand. Maybe they are remembering something that they did in life. But we could use your reinforcements.
What, what do
We
you mean by use?
Well, you look like you know what your
we
business is.
we may have tangled with such we may have tangled with such creatures before.
And judging by this one's scars, he's seen the other side of combat.
You better believe it. More than a few, all of us, for me in particular.
And he's like, "Well, again, there's no need to wait around then. We can gather our men and get prepared to go with us. Um, I do need to tell my cousin, however, his he arrived recently with a few of his men, and he will support our endeavors too."
How many men are we talking? I'd like to, if we are combining our forces for tactical advantage, it would be helpful to know the size of our forces.
He kind of looks around. "I won't lie to you. Out of all of my men, probably 20 are in fighting condition. That's why we have not made another assault. We were planning on doing so this evening. You have just increased our odds even further."
Who's this cousin of yours?
And he calls out to the tent. He says something in Spanish. And he says, what was his name? I forget. Bear with me.
All right.
Alberto, come out. Meet my new friends. And out of the tent is a young man who you all recognize, with several horrific scars across his face and a ragged black linen coat and a broad-brimmed hat cocked to one side. And he adjusts his hat and he's like, "Hello again, Captain." I'm here to collect on the treasure you promised. And it's Captain Espada and the crew of El Tigre.
Ah, okay.
Ooh.
And if these people weren't going to betray you before, you know they're almost certainly going to betray you at some point now. So what do you do?
Um,
We can't just fight them. We can't do
I
that.
was going to say,
They're-
or do we, or is this a place, or is, or is this where is this where,
This would be
Is
where we
this the
cliffhanger, yeah.
is this where the
Yeah.
cliffhanger is?
yeah.
Okay.
Because they come out and they're all like, "Hello."
Oh, this guy again.
Yep, they were the lingering threat, so I had to think about where to reintroduce them. So
Oh, perfect.
Oh, that's perfect. That is
Yeah.
perfect.
awesome. So let's do XP and then stars and wishes. All right, so Captain
Alright.
Jack. Well, first of all, we did resolve a threat, so everyone can mark something for that.
Hooray.
Marking.
Mike, did you experience an echo from the deep?
I not this session.
Okay. You did have an encounter with Henry Morgan, and you did make an effort to pretend that you were alive several times. So 3 XP.
Yay.
Tom, did you experience an echo from the deep?
I went for it with the silence when I was in the river. That was about it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you risk everything knowing that you were protected?
I went out alone on
Hmm.
the ship. I don't know if that really applies, but that was
I think
problem.
like scouting ahead and also
Yeah.
not turning back when you knew you were being followed, you're like, I
Hmm.
can handle it. You know, it's fine. And you definitely exuded unbridled sexual energy,
Oh,
which is
that's
the only
right.
reason they didn't ambush you immediately. So,
That's right. Win that way.
Okay. And Book, did you experience an echo from the deep?
Sure did. I kind of cheated because I did silence first and then I had them plug my ears and say it was quiet.
No,
Or
that's
no, I
totally
plugged
fine.
my
You
ears.
can do it both
Yeah,
directions.
but
It's
I
totally
did.
okay.
I did.
You did use profanity when it was
I tried so
unnecessary.
much.
And did you deliver a wide-eyed
No,
monologue?
no,
Okay.
no, no monologuing this time.
All right. Tom, I see you unmarked your personal quarters items, or
Yes.
okay.
I want a parrot.
There's
That's
plenty of ones around. Like you can just show up at this
Yeah.
camp with a parrot on your shoulder.
that's a power that's one of my moves is I can get a parrot that lets me
Wow.
so I'm gonna take a new move and I get a parrot that lets me I can send out to go get more clues and stuff.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
That's great. That's great.
And in fact, it's actually like there are two moves. It's like if you already have a parrot, you can now get a monkey. And you can
Yeah.
wind up with just like a series of
Mm.
animals.
Like a menagerie.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Love it. I love it.
That's someone who knows how people are going to play this game. They know
Right.
there might be
Yep,
there
yep,
might
yep.
be a parrot before you get your parrot.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yep,
Mike,
yep.
did you take
So,
an advance or?
I did take an advantage. Um I'm noodling on a new move. On a new custom move. I don't quite have it yet. So
Mhm.
Okay, well, think about it off
Yeah.
screen and just
Yeah.
write down somewhere that you got that so you don't forget. But
Yep.
cool, cool, cool. So let's do a round of stars and wishes, like things that you enjoyed about the session, things you're looking forward to next time. So. Well, big star for me for everyone's things that Skeleton Jack missed in life. That was not the direction that I thought was going to go, but that was very amusing to me. Yeah, I actually thought this episode was very funny overall. Even though we did learn some
Yeah.
things about, your upcoming threats. So there were some serious moments, but there were also, some lighter ones. And I also thought people's flashbacks were really cool too. The skull on the tiller and everything, and then the history with Old Book and then all of that. So very big stars for all of that. And wishes, yeah, I want to see what you all do about this Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to immediately attack you, but sometime in the future, it's inevitable. So how you handle this situation, do you use them first? Is there a three-way fight between you,
Mhm.
pirates, mercenaries, skeletons, necromancer, That's more than three ways. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So looking forward to that and looking forward to the resolution of this threat and the final, I'll
Ooh.
be on the mist one, which is immediately after. So that's me.
Um, I think that I enjoyed actually. It felt like it was sort of, an odd, not an odd place, but it's like, we were wrapping up one threat, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed um, and then we were also like sort of took like a one of those like a down
Hmm.
energy to sort of like just scout around, reset up, and so um, but it does feel like there's a lot of pieces coming together, and I
Hmm.
really appreciate that. I feel like Maxwell's the mini boss that we got to beat up before
Hmm.
we can get to Henry Morgan. So I'm looking forward to his fight. Like it feels like it definitely, if Henry Morgan and the captain have to fight, it feels like Maxwell and Cathal have to fight.
Hmm.
Um we've got to have like a battle of like two religiously themed people.
Hmm.
So that's sort of one of my wishes, is to like have that actual moment of fighting between those two
Of
characters.
Satanist on Satanist
Yeah,
violence.
yeah,
Yeah.
Satanist on right.
Hmm.
um like, you first, I'll see you in
Hmm.
hell, you first, bam, and then head,
Yeah.
um
Yeah, yeah, you probably will.
yeah.
Yeah.
I liked Captain Jack's big speech. I appreciated that. That's a cool move.
Hmm.
Like, the more that
Mhm.
I see some of these, like the captain has some really fun moves,
Hmm.
and I think
Mhm.
that was a really cool one,
Hmm.
as well. Um, Tom Cathal is just the dirtiest guy, and like, um, there's always I think, just because like there is this tendency to like really like the PCs that you play with, right? Like you're
Hmm.
like, oh, this
Mhm.
is PC. But he is like not a good dude. And I
Yeah.
like how you make a not good dude um still enjoyable to play with, right? Because like I've
Yeah.
also
Mhm.
heard people play characters and be like, this is not a good dude, and I hate watching this player play them because they're no fun to be around.
Yeah.
I feel
But
you.
I
Yeah.
don't. I think you walk that tightrope really well, and I think the bleed doesn't happen
Hmm.
into like, is Tom just a shitty guy? Like, no, I'm just kidding. Like,
Like, do I hate
um,
Tom this whole time?
it's not like it's really. So
Yeah.
those are my things, and yeah, and again, Captain Alex, everything's coming together so cool, and I'm pretty stoked about it. So,
Nice.
those would be my things.
Yeah, I would like to call out speaking of Tom, speaking of Cathal, yeah, Cathal's charismatic. I like the character. I
Hmm.
think I don't know if Jack likes Cathal. I think there's some affection there, but there's he knows that, you're a weapon.
Hmm.
Right.
Um, and yeah, you're not a good guy. Love the scene of like, come on, Duncan, let's break into the captain's cabin and fuck. That's,
I
that was
I was like,
great.
I could get a clue there, you know?
Yeah. Very
That was
creative.
great.
Yeah.
That was great. That was very creative. That was really cool. That was a fun scene. Yeah, love that. Um, yeah, and I loved, like, this is to everybody. I loved our scene when we were like, creeping through the mermaid's
Mhm.
grotto and
Hmm.
like getting that. And oh my God, Ben, using your like
Yeah.
grenade of the fog of time that we got like 9 sessions ago. That was awesome.
That threw me. But then
Love
I was
that.
like, yeah, we established that they were these ancient Greek soldiers, which is not in the threat, by the way. That was just something that Ben threw out, a couple sessions ago. So it was such a great moment to reincorporate that.
Yeah, that was just
Yeah.
I think all of us are doing a really good job of like reincorporating our established fiction. That's one thing I love about Card from Brindlewood games in general is that um you know I mean, yeah, it's got prepared scenarios, but they're basically outlines,
Mhm.
and it
Yeah.
really relies on the creativity of the characters through the various mechanics that give both players and the GM narrative authority to like add stuff.
Mhm.
And that's what makes your version of this game. Because if someone else is playing if another group was playing Isle Beyond the Mist and was doing exactly the same threats in exactly the
Mhm.
same order, they would have a completely different game.
Absolutely.
And again, that's something I love about Car from Brindlewood games. And Alex, big star to you for like pulling this all together, for all of the reincorporation, for
Mhm.
really good. I mean, I've said this in previous games, but you're great with spotlight management, making
Mhm.
sure that every player has
Mhm.
their moment in the sun. Like moving things around. Um, I use this technique too, but you're also really good. Like let's have a roll. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. Well, that's a die result. Okay, over here.
Yeah. Sometimes I
That
need a little bit to think about that. But yeah, it's also good
exactly.
so it doesn't
That's
just
a
get
tech
stuck on
that
one scene and sad.
as a GM, that's a technique I use all the time, and I find
Mhm.
it very use. I find it useful as a GM to like give me time to think and to start planning on that.
Mhm.
I also really and like on the other side of the GM screen, I really enjoy that as a player because it builds tension.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of thing that I mean, it's cinematic. It's the kind of thing that you'd see in a movie or a TV show. Like, oh, something happens. Like you know,
Yeah, absolutely.
they turn around. They turn around. We, the audience, don't see what's behind them, and then we cut away to another character. And I think it's really good pacing. I think it's a really good technique, and I think it's good storytelling. So yeah, stars all around. Like stars to the GM. You're doing great. I'm really enjoying this
Well,
game.
thank you, Mike. I appreciate that a lot. So,
Yeah. I would also add, if you're done, like,
mhm.
I am.
yeah, no, I thought there's so many callbacks. We're just callbacking on callbacking on callbacking, and it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, Maxwell, the like side character that we had like a church run in
Mhm.
the like ages ago is the mini boss. And each of us has like a compelling reason like to want to fight them in some way, right?
Mhm.
I appreciate the idea that it has to be me, like it has to be Cole that like goes out and like they punch each other. But I think any of us like has a compelling reason. I think Old Book is just as like weird coded. Like you're kind of the priest, you're the priest of the ship kind of functionally.
Yeah.
So like I think that would look cool. I think Captain on that would be cool. Yeah, I think there's so much range, there's so many ways, and it doesn't feel like we like there's always a rails to a CFB game, but this one feels like there's so much ranges of where this could end up going, and I love
Mhm.
that, right? And I think that's because of how much time we've built up collectively, and also that you've sort of guided us through to get there. So huge props. Yeah, I appreciated uh, my abs basically like unlocking it, like the ambush. That was fun. Um, that was great. Uh, I liked the Skeleton Jack scenario just as it was proposed. I agree, it's maybe not where any of us thought that the Skeleton Jack situation was going to end up going, but it feels so true now that we've said it.
Mhm.
Like I don't know how else it could have been.
Mhm.
Uh, and I really liked the way that we were able to do the teleport. I think there was a way of doing it that would have been a lot more sort of Indiana Jonesy almost of like,
Mhm.
oh, we're running away. Oh, we're doing it. Like I liked that we were sort of able to just be like, okay, we got the magic and like bam, like we're moving the story forward.
Mhm.
Uh it helps that we roll up. Uh but yeah, old book, I think still fantastic, beautiful. I would like to also commend the giant breaking of the fog of time that
Mhm.
that you used at the moment. I was like, am I gonna fight? Is this the fight? And I was like, no, old book just defeated all of them because truly old book is future call. Uh like never more true. I love that you were just a dog to that woman. Kind of it was reciprocated.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I thought like that sense of like grizzled old man really comes through in that way. That it feels like you've seen some shit. I feel like you really bring that forward in a beautiful way. Um, and then yeah, for Mike, the captain, really again, so honorable. Like I think really looking for. I think I appreciated you trying to figure out what are we doing. I think I was out there going like, well, we'll just use these mercenaries for cannon fodder, right? At some level, like we're just gonna they could die. And I think Old Book was also kind of like, yeah, they could just die. And I feel like you were really trying to be like, no, guys, like we're gonna figure this out without really like telling us down in some way.
Hmm.
Which felt like a good reflection of sort of like your role in the team and how that goes around. And yeah, I really liked your conversation also with the villagers trying to find like let's hello, fellow travelers. Like I've come to trade and I've brought money and I'm going to give it to you and you're going to give me the thing. It felt very like authentic to the moment as well. So no, huge props. Um, and yeah, I do feel bad about it. What I did to Duncan, I feel bad, but I'm a devil possessed, right?
Yeah.
Like muscle man. That's kind of what happens. I feel
You
bad.
could have done a lot worse, but yeah, it
I
felt
could have done much worse.
bad.
I'm there are definitely like you could play this game way
Oh yeah.
way darker. And
Hmm.
like Jack could like this captain
Oh yeah.
could be a right bastard,
Cap,
right?
yeah,
Hmm.
I'm making a choice to play a mostly heroic guy that's
Yes.
Mhm.
leading a bunch of cutthroats who's trying to be.
Yeah, which is
I
why
know
your
we're
crew
bad
trust
guys.
is so high. Like we talked about that earlier. You know,
Yeah.
it could be
Yeah.
like
Like-
really low. You could be like 1 point away because you're such a bastard. But it's like, no, actually, you're a really good captain. You know,
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think that I like that. I mean, I like that choice
Mm.
as well. Just like you every character has done something bad. We know that, but
Mhm.
also like
Some more than others.
Yes.
Some more than others. No, I think it's also I really liked the speech, right? The speech is such a cool move, but it's very interesting because there's such a version of the captain that's like, hide in the villainy, super scummy.
Mm.
And like I'm trying to envision what the super inspirational speech would be for like the evil captain, right? The evil
The floggings will continue until morale improves.
yeah. You're like so
Or just like,
inspiring.
we want blood. You know, stuff like that.
Like,
Um,
spill the blood of our enemies, and you
Wow.
shall be enriched. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
it's like we were there. It's like we were there.
Yeah. Okay, well, this was a lot of fun. Definitely looking forward to next week.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
yeah, that'll be the penultimate session, and then we should wrap everything up after that. So, and the
Amazing.
finale.
Fantastic.
So,
All right. Well, thanks,
We'll
folks.
see.
I had a blast.
Yeah.
See you
Thank you,
later,
man.
everybody. Au revoir.
bye everyone. Bye.
Live long.